All right, welcome back. This is part two of me reading the speedrun notes to Digimon story Cyber Sleuth. In the last video, we pretty much made it through the prologue, and let's see, my final time. Let's see if I'll probably put it over here, somewhere over here, of what the current time was for that video. I think it was about 30 minutes, maybe. I think it was 30 minutes, 30 seconds is what we're at the end of that video. So we will continue from there with this one. I'll post at the end of every video what the current split time or what time we would be at in an actual speed run if this was all a single segment kind of run thing, just to kind of give an idea on where I would have been if I did this as a continuous run. But we did the prologue. In this one, we're going to be starting up chapter 1, and we're just going to be going through more of the story. So let's get it started. Let's see. So if I remember correctly, last thing we did, we met Kyoko and got into the detective agency. So first thing we're going to do here, we're just going to be mashing a bunch of text and kind of getting an idea on how this detective agency works. All right, so this is going to introduce us to the digital line. Pretty much just a straight line of like straight paths and everything. In the notes, it says up, left, up, right, up. And we want to, so the up, left, up, right, up is the directions we're going to be going. So once you start going through different sections, or I'm just going to call these hallways, once you go through these hallways and everything, you can't really move around. You just push up and it'll take you straight up until the next little kind of pod. So here I think we go to the left first, we go up, then we go to the right. I guess that's considered right. Oh no, here we go right. And then we go up. While we're here, the little black Digimon there, Bodemon, we want to get a 100% scan of the Bodemon. So I think for these, again, that's another 4. Depending on the levels and everything, they have different rates at which they raise up your scan. So we can only get encounters on those circular platforms. So I'm going to try to go back and forth between them in order to get these Bodemon. Oh, okay, so they're 30, so I still need 4. So that's my second one. Once we get the 100% on the Bodemon, then we can leave. The smart thing that I later learned is I'm going back and forth between these two here, but I could just go to the next one up and just kind of go side to side on that very last one. Faster encounter rates. I just did it a very slow way, so that's something I could fix in a later run. Yeah, so this one right here, I could just kind of go to the left, immediately jump to the right, because you could change directions in these hallways. So it would be overall a little bit quicker. And I think that was 3, I think. So I need one more. Luckily, their encounter rate here is actually pretty high. So it wasn't too hard to get the Bodemon. The reason we need the Bodemon is it's going to evolve into another Koromon, which will go through the Agumon line so we can get War Greymon. So that will be our second War Greymon that we have. Okay, so we leave here, and then we get introduced to this is another Eden area. And this is just a generic Eden area. I don't think it really has a name, or if it does, it doesn't really matter what the name is in this run. But the next place we're going to go to is the Digilab, where we're going to meet Mirai, who I messed up Kyoko's name. I was calling her Mirai. Mirai is the like pink purple haired lady that we saw in the initial title screen. We're going to officially meet her. And now that we're here, we meet Mirai and we find how we can convert Digimon, how we digivolve them, de-digivolve them, stuff like that. So what we're going to want to do here, we're going to want to convert Koromon and Bodemon, put them into the party, and make sure that you look at everything in this area to progress the story. So we go to the convert. We get our Bodemon and Koromon. This is just me reading the notes very closely just to make sure I don't mess anything up. So yeah, you can skip those sequences, which I learn a little bit later. Okay, so we have our Koromon, our Bodemon. And now next thing is to put them into the party, which I don't remember if I do. I think yeah, I messed up here. I just automatically assumed that they go into the party. I get a little confused here. I forget that you have to check all the things. And eventually it clicks that I have to click on every single thing, get the small little tutorial screen for everything. Now we can go talk to her. And we can leave. I don't even think we needed to talk to her. I think we could just try to leave and then she'll keep it going. But she gives us our hacking skills, which is going to be very important for story progression. All right, so we get sent back to Kowloon, and next thing we're supposed to be doing is finding all the different parts to us. So we learned how to use the hacking skill here, wall crack. Which to use all these different hacking skills, we have to have specific Digimon in our party. So specific virus, vaccine data types in our party in order to use the different abilities, which is why our final party has what it has. I don't remember off the top of my head who does what, but I can look into that for a later video as we get a little bit closer to when we need them. All right, so the notes here in Kowloon, it says get the pieces. We need to get 100% Pabumon, which I think we already do at this point. Export in the last, we pick up the export in the last room on the left. And after we get all of the pieces, we use the export and then log out. and I get very lucky. Apparently, we just can't die in this sequence, which was really nice. Again, I could have just ran. Oh no, and that one I don't think I could run. Yeah, so that's when I realized I was supposed to have those other two in my party. So now I gotta run all the way back to the Digilab and put them in my party. Because I got into the battle and just immediately thought to myself, I'm supposed to have 3 in my party right now, and I didn't. So that was a dumb on my part. And I later figured this out, but you could just hit square on them and they'll automatically be put into your party. So there are little shortcut things that I learned throughout, which make it a little bit quicker. But we'll keep in mind that I started doing this little series after I haven't played the game in about a year or so. So I didn't remember quite how everything worked, and I figured out a little bit better as it goes on. Okay, so all I'm doing right now, I'm just getting them a couple levels as I go through. Um, I don't think I have to do that, but I didn't think there was any harm in it. I've already got the Pabumon scan, so that doesn't matter. Ooh. I think here I decided, hey, these are all rookie levels. I should probably get some good experience out of this, so I decided to go ahead and fight them for the experience. Okay, so that's 2 parts down. I think there's only 3 parts total. Um, yeah, sometimes if I run directly into a wall, it's because I was just holding a direction and looking down, reading the notes, seeing if there's anything that I missed. Oh, I know what I'm doing. I'm running from the wild ones, and anytime I find an avatar part, it forces the encounter. So here I'm forced to fight this. Okay, so we're going to grab this box up here on the left, and that's going to be our export. Exports are used to get to or go back to the beginning of the dungeon. So some big items that we're going to be using throughout this exports, like I just said, use it and it takes you to the beginning of whatever kind of dungeon or area you're in, and then home gates, which take you directly back to the um, the detective agency's office. Then obviously we'll get some HP, SP recoveries. We'll get some revival items. Not too many equips. We get a lot of the equip items that we get or that we need in the run, we get close to the very end. We pick up maybe one or two, or we're supposed to pick up one or two throughout, but then we get all the big ones at the end. So this is me looking at the notes because in the notes it says after done use escape gate and log out. It should say export, and I think I learned right here. Oh, I thought I learned right there. I think I end up running all the way back, and I don't need to. I think I'm looking for an escape gate. Which, there I got one. So I'm not quite sure what I'm doing now. I got the escape gate. Eventually, I'm hoping it clicks. I forgot what I do. So that's something I'll fix in the notes because it apparently confused me. And yeah, I do the dumb thing and I just run all the way back. We end up buying a lot of exports, so even if I accidentally wasted it here, yeah, there's going to be a lot of times in these videos where I just get confused and I just run in circles. And I know someone's going to be out there watching this and they're going to just say, "Why are you so dumb?" And my response is because I'm dumb. Don't worry about it. I figured it out eventually. Like I said in the other video, I've already completed the run. For the most part, following the notes. There are some times where I had to kind of improvise a little bit, but not too much. So eventually what's going to happen, I'm going to log out, and then the next place I'm going to have to go to is the hospital. And I think, yeah, now I just decide, just run to the entrance, just escape that way. There we go. We got out. The export would have taken us right next to the gate, and so makes it a lot quicker. Then we log out. So this is another detective, Matayoshi. He appears every now and then. Really doesn't do too much, or really doesn't do anything in the speed run. I think he has a decently sized role in the story, in this one and in Hacker's Memory as he has a decent role. So he's the one now who tells us stuff that's going on with the hospital. Don't know what it is. I just know that now we go to the hospital and we do some stuff there. Before we go to the hospital, though, we're going to go into the Digi lab. And it's nice because we don't have to go into the internet anymore to go to the Digi lab. We leave the office and there's a... I think we find Mirai right outside the office. Oh, no, we go here first. Okay, so we do that later. But we go to that yellow terminal over by the elevators. That'll take us to the Digilab, or it can take us to Eden. We have the option, but we're gonna go to the Digilab and we're going to Digivolve Bodamon into Koromon, and we're gonna convert Pabumon, and then Digivolve Hagurumon into Multimon. But first, we got some mashing and some cutscenes to go through. We get to see another important character. She becomes another one of the main characters that we get to interact with. A lot of side quests that deal with her, I remember, involve finding good places to eat and finding out that she eats a lot. Some of the side quests are actually pretty entertaining. So it's me confused and not seeing how we get to Digilab, and there we go. I see it now. And that's me mashing too quickly. So pay attention to what you're doing whenever you're doing this. Don't be dumb like me. Digilab. So I'll kind of talk it through as we go through. So first thing we do, Digivolve Bodamon to Koromon. Then we are converting Pabumon. Pabumon ends up digivolving into Multimon, which ends up being our other Platinum Sukamon. So now we digivolve. Or, yeah, we move this to party first. Now we do digivolve into... Oh, because we haven't actually discovered a Multimon yet, so we can't digivolve. So I got to figure out how to do all that. Actually, no, we're not supposed to do this yet. Okay, so this is all fine. Later on, somewhere in Chapter 2, it says also to digivolve Hagurumon to Multimon, so that's something I'll need to take out of the notes that we need to do it there. I think it has it in parentheses. So if we encountered enough Multimon to 100% scan it, I think we're able to digivolve then. So we can do that now if that's an option. If we ran into enough Multimon. All right. So we went up to the special ward, we talked to the guards, and then we go back into the general ward. Get on the elevator. There we go. We go to the general ward. We connect jump, and that's going to take us to another one of those digital lines, the giant hallway kind of things. You can tell there's a lot of people on this floor because I'm moving really slow. Anytime we see any of these kind of spots here, we know that we're going to most likely have to interact with it. All right, so here we're going to go, it says up, up, up. So we can just hold up and everything will be good. And I guess I decided to just go ahead and grab some levels while I'm here. So we are going up, 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 mash, down, 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 mash. Oh, okay, I remember. I know why it says it like that. So the mash is going to be... Yes. Why did I do that? I don't remember why I decided to not log out there. Well, there's another Multimon. Maybe I was trying to get another Multimon? I don't quite remember why I did that. I think something just clicked in my head where, yeah, I'm supposed to log out here. So then we mash through this. This is a little bit of a longer scene. We're going to meet another antagonist, and again, this is a not explain the story kind of run, so spoilers, this is going to be an antagonist coming up. She's not the antagonist. She's one of our friends. Or ends up being one of our friends. So I think this is one of those spots where I'm supposed to... Yeah, I'm supposed to mash through all the different options. I'm glad I actually caught that one. So this is Rie. I think that's how you pronounce her name. I'm not sure. But this is one of the main... This is one of the big antagonists throughout the game. And we get to see more about her a little bit later. So pretty much to escape, we just went to the computer, and now we do the down, down, down and then mash some more. Eventually we get an option to say one glug, which I mess up. I mashed too quickly and accidentally did the first option. I forgot what it was. But one glug is just less text that you have to go through. So it just saves like maybe like half a second or a second. We log out here. We end up going back to the detective agency. And if you remember at the end of the last episode, I was talking about how Kyoko makes the best coffee. It's actually a running gag throughout this game that she experiments with her coffee quite a bit, and every time it's absolutely disgusting. So you try her coffee for the first time, and it's terrible. I forgot what kind she does with this. Red bean paste coffee. I mean, I won't lie, I would try it. I probably wouldn't enjoy it, but I would try it. Again, it says don't save, but that obviously means that we're going to save. And that's going to be the end of this episode. So yeah, I'll be posting what my final time was for this. And at the end of every video, we'll talk about, or I'll put a little timestamp on where we are in the run, so that way we kind of get an idea. Throughout these notes, I really like this. It hasn't done it yet for where we are, but it looks like a little ways through chapter 2, it actually has time checks throughout. So the first time check that we're coming up to is an hour, 9 minutes, 49 seconds, and that's after we fight a boss, and it'll probably be in the next video. Which I really appreciate about this is that it kind of gives you an idea on where you should be time wise on this. Obviously, since I'm just reading the notes for the first time and everything, I am not with those time checks at all. I am already over an hour into this run, and I still have a few things I got to do before I get to that boss. So I'm already quite behind. This run, or these notes, end up saying around 9 hours 48 minutes, I think, somewhere around there. And this run ends up being about 11 and a half hours, give or take. So we'll just kind of see. But thank you all for joining. Again, if you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment on anything else you would like to see with this kind of idea in mind, or any games that you'd want to see me play. Right now, I'm currently running through Persona 3 Reload. Yeah, I'm already a couple hours into that game. I'll be playing it on and off as I'm kind of making these videos as well. But thank you all for joining, and I'll see you all for the next one.